All right, guys, welcome to another exciting episode of the Left Side View with Rahul and Amitabh. So this is the part two of the review episode. So where do we begin, Amitabh? We've got some interesting matches, I believe.
Yes. Hi everyone. So we start with the Premier League. Uh, Yesterday there were three matches at 2 o'clock BST. So the first of them being Chelsea at home against West Ham. Now we have unfortunately lost our previous two matches at home. So this was a really important encounter for us. And oh boy, did we leave it late. Christian Pulisic scoring the winner in the 90th minute. Just prior to the winning goal, Dawson, the defender from West Ham, he got retarded for a foul and being the last man on Romelu Lukaku. And yeah, he was sent off. We got a penalty and Jorginho. It was one of the tamest penalty kicks I have seen from him in a long time. And it looked like we would not get all 3 points, but then in the 3, 4, 5 minutes that we had, we proved that the one-man advantage. We made most of the one-man advantage that we had, and Pulisic scored the winner. Again, if you really want to analyze the match, the first half was pretty pedestrian from us. Once again, we tried to raise the tempo in the second half, but at this stage, 3 points are all that matter, and yeah, five very important 3 points for us, given our skills win. Yeah, actually, a couple of wins in the previous two matches. So, yeah, we still have some breathing space. Now,
Yeah, so we actually lost last three matches at home, including the obviously the Real Madrid match in the Champions League. So yes, it was actually very important for us to get a victory. I mean, obviously when you look at the lineup, it became even more important because West Ham actually rested a lot of players, even some like Declan Rice was on the bench. So yes, it was a great opportunity for us, especially taking into consideration that even someone like Christensen, who was actually supposed to start, but then all of a sudden got injured, was replaced by Trevor Chalobah, who hadn't really been getting a look into the side. But yes, I think he gave a great account of himself. Even Reece James was actually missing. I think it wasn't really an injury; it was more of a precaution. So yes, we were also missing a lot of key players. Let's hope that it's not something that because of which he has to miss a lot of games because we do play against Manchester United next. So yes, taking that into consideration and the fact that kudos to West Ham actually. I mean, the job that someone like David Moyes has done. I mean, how good West Ham are. Like seriously, they are just so organized. Like this is actually what happens, when you give a good manager time. Like he's West Ham and Moyes are the prime example of how how good management can do wonders for a team. So yes, the first half, like you said, it was nothing to talk about. But then yes, in the second half, I mean, the first half again, I think none of the teams had a shot on target. So yes, but in the second half, yes, things picked up. Loftus Cheek playing again as a wing back, uh, made created some chances. Alonso, I think even he was really good. And then yes, when it looked like it could be heading towards a nil-nil, but then all of a sudden Craig Dawson, who had been so good till the time he made that foul, he was actually so good. Yes, almost flawless. But then that one foul, one error uh, on his on his part, just got him sent off. And yeah, West Ham already without any recognized center half. So Declan Rice who came on as a second half substitute and was playing as a defensive midfielder, then moved into middle of the park as a defender. But yes, Jorginho missed a penalty, and still it looked like it's just not a day. But all of a sudden, a triple substitution made by Tuchel, Pulisic, Ziyech, and Lukaku. And yeah, look, it was Alonso's pass or cross, whatever you want to call it. And yes, it was Pulisic, who again hadn't really been playing that much. I mean, he had a brief period where he looked really good, but then ever since the international break, hasn't really been getting a looking. And then it has coincided the downturn in his form has coincided with the upturn in Werner's form. So yes, let's see that uh, this proves to be uh, the turning point for Pulisic's career, or at least for this end of the season, because there are some important matches, obviously. And again, Chelsea would like to get all the points possible so that they can then look to rest some players before the key game, the final against the FA Cup final against Liverpool. So yeah, let's hope that. I mean, a great result overall. Yeah.
It's moving on, talking about great results. It was a great result for Burnley, who won 1-0 at home against Wolves, something that we had not predicted. And Burnley are now out of the relegation zone. We'll talk about Everton's match later. Again, Vieira scoring the goal in the 62nd minute, a typical Burnley performance. Difficult to score against, and then they just take the one opportunity that they had. So, yeah, I really did not see this result coming through. But if you actually see performance of Wolves of late, yeah, they've lost 3 of their 5 matches. So, um, yeah, one team, trying their best to get some sort of a result. Of course, fighting for the mere survival, and the other team, I think, Wolves know that they can't really go anywhere and nothing really can happen to them. So maybe they are on holiday mode already. So yeah. Now,
I mean, again, yeah, like you said, it was just something that we didn't expect. I mean, just imagine if now all of a sudden Burnley actually do survive. It could actually go down as the greatest escape, in my opinion. I mean, we've already talked about it before, like, and they've actually got a pretty decent chance now. Obviously, we'll talk about the Everton game, but the fact that Everton, Everton's sort of fixtures is actually the most difficult. So it does look like, and the fact that, I mean, again, the fact that they sacked someone like Sean Dyche, but now, and everyone was like, this is just so wrong, such a bad time to sack someone like him. But maybe since then they've actually won 3 in a row, if I'm not wrong, at least 3 home games in a row. So yes, all of a sudden, because of that, now it looks like that they actually made the right decision. I mean, wow, Weghorst again with the turn and everything, and then Vidra. I think he even scored against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, a great decision and a great upturn in form for Burnley, and they might just stay in the Premier League. So yeah, kudos.
yeah. Just to mention the other match as well, Brighton at home against Southampton. Brighton took a 2-goal lead. First goal was scored by Welbeck, the second one by Salisu, and then Ward-Prowse came to the fore. I mean, for this guy, free kick is like a penalty, I guess. He scores them for fun. And yeah, I read somewhere he said that about his childhood idol David Beckham. I think he's about to um, what do I say, match his record of scoring most number of free kick goals in a season, 18. So he said that it is still his dream to meet him, and yeah, if he could just acknowledge, Beckham could just acknowledge his performance, even that would be, more than enough for him. So yeah, well done to Ward-Prowse. Again, 1 point to both teams, and yeah, that's about it. Now,
I mean, yeah, I think I read a stat that Brighton had actually not scored a single goal at home at the Amex Stadium since 18th of January, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, and yeah, 3 months no goals scored at home, and all of a sudden Danny Welbeck, it took just 78 seconds for him to open the scoring, and then they scored two. So yes, I think there was actually a goal actually that Brighton had scored, which looked to be the winner, but then it was ruled out by VAR for offside. So yes, I think a good point, obviously, for Southampton because they had also not been playing well, and at the same time, whenever a team goes down 2-0 and then makes a comeback, so yes, you would say that that team would be happier with the result with a point. It's more like 2 points dropped for Brighton. So yeah, a decent enough result, I think. Uh, I mean, yeah, like both the teams again, not really sure if they have anything to play for. So yes, they do lack that kind of a motivation or a target without a target in mind.
yes, talking about teams that have something to play for, the next match, the Merseyside derby, I think that is reason enough to be charged up for this game. But more than that, it was Liverpool's, chase of Manchester City for the title and Everton's hopes of survival. So this match had all the subplots. Everton actually started pretty decently. Not that they were scoring a lot of goals, but they were thwarting Liverpool's, attacking chances. they were doing decently well enough. And of course, they did everything within their power to, slow the game. I think the commentators were more angry than the Liverpool or team or supporters that Everton are anti-football. There was around 28 minutes of game in the first half, and I think what else do you expect Everton to do? They are not going to match Liverpool, attack for attack, because that is a lost cause. And the way some of these commentators behave, it really like makes my blood boil. If you remember, we talked about this in the Arsenal Chelsea match as well. I mean, don't make your biases so evident because it just ruins the experience as an audience. I mean, one team is trying to survive, other team is trying to win the championship. I understand that. You can't dictate how each team will play. I think the referee did bring the quality of the match down because he was definitely under pressure and he favored Liverpool in all the 50-50, decisions. I mean, almost all the 50-50 decisions went in Liverpool's favor. And in the second half, I think Gordon brought a push from Matip or Fabinho, I don't remember. And
Matip, I think. Matip, yeah.
yeah, and nothing was given. And I think this is something that even Lampard called out that had it been Salah, it would have been a penalty. And when I saw it live first time, I shouted penalty. Had to be a penalty. Similarly, even Salah, other players, I remember at least three pushes, clear shoves, and none were even considered as a foul. There was a melee in the first half when Richarlison was on the ground and Liverpool did not stop the match, and Doucouré just fouled one of their players to, pause the match, and then players got into each other's faces, and Sadio Mane hit Alan, and yeah, that was just a yellow. I don't know if you put your hand on your opponent's face, it has to be a red. But yeah, yes, I think this has been a common theme for the entire season for Liverpool and City. I'm not saying that these decisions mattered at the end of the day. Liverpool would have won the match. No, actually, the red card and the penalty. I think not so sure had it gone in Everton's way. But yes, the big team bias has always been there. And again, as Lampard said, these are some unwritten rules, I guess, of the game. And yeah, 2-0 to Liverpool and Everton. Now I'm really scared for them. I still look at the team and I wonder how is this team in the relegation scrap. And right now there's a 50-50 chance that they will go down. And this is, I think, the 19th loss of the season. I mean, yeah, Ancelotti going away to Real Madrid at the start of the season, but I don't know. I never thought that this would be, the end result of Everton this season. I still think that they should win a couple of games and that should be enough, but really, really scared for them now. No,
Those games that you're talking about, they include actually a game against Chelsea at Goodison Park and a trip
no,
to
other
the
games, other
Emirates.
games.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, man. It's just that people are now talking about that what Ancelotti actually did with Everton last season. Top half finish. That should be given more credit because of this team, and the personnel that they've got. Again, like shambles, total chaos. Like yeah, and again with the fixtures list, it does look like, and the fact that Burnley have already picked themselves up, with the sacking of Sean Dyche, it is almost like mission impossible for someone like Lampard, who has again not really been through all of this. I think it does look like he might have to go back to the championship, and maybe that way at least he'll get some time to work with the personnel, maybe bring his own players in, maybe even a couple of players on loan from Chelsea, and yeah, maybe then try to bring Everton back, straight to the Premier League. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about this game. Yes, we already covered all the points. So it was again a blatant penalty. There's nothing much that you can do about it. And even Lampard said that yes, you don't get decisions like this at Anfield. So Yeah, man. I mean, the fact that Mane gouged Alan's eyes, and I mean, I go back to the decision that even in the first minute of the game at Stamford Bridge, he hit his elbow on Aspilicueta, but was not on a red card. I mean, I still keep referring back to that incident. So, I mean, obviously, yes, Liverpool are a better side. There's no doubt about that. So they still would have found a way. I mean, because I mean, it's not about this game, right? I mean, the damage has in a way already been done. Like they've been so poor. Everton have lost what? They've only taken 6 points out of 48. That's what 16 matches in away games. They've only won. They've lost 11 out of their last 12 away games. So yes, it luck did not favor them in this match, but you can't get relegated, based on just luck. I mean, you have 38 matches. You do not have luck on your side in one match, but there are other 37 matches. So yes, you must be doing something wrong if you are in this position. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've covered the Premier League in great detail. Now we can move on. No matches worth of note in the Bundesliga. We can move to the La Liga. Barcelona played the match in hand actually against Rayo Vallecano, and seems like the only time we predicted Barcelona would lose, that was against Sociedad. They won, and they are losing all their other matches. So Barcelona lost again for the third time, I guess, in a row at the new camp, 1-0. Again, the goal scored by Vallecano was a beautiful goal with Garcia Rivera finishing the match, finishing the goal. So yeah, this was the match in hand, and now Barcelona and Sevilla are uh, on the exact number of points with the exact number of games played. Barcelona second by virtue of having the better head-to-head record. Um, Again, I think we've discussed this. Uh, so now Real Madrid need just 1 point to win the championship. Oh, good for them. So yeah, Barcelona also I think is easy for Real Madrid. See that win that Madrid got against Sevilla, believe me, it had so much of ripple effect, if I can call that, not only for Madrid but also to the competitors. Whatever slight chance, 0.1% chance Barcelona must be thinking that they have of catching Madrid, but once all those dreams were squashed, again we're talking about all the teams having no particular target to play in the season now. So I think they've had their upturn, they've had put in the effort and they've reaped the results, but now like most teams, even they are looking to close out the season. They know they'll be in the Champions League and they're in no particular, competition, any cup competition. So yeah, these 5 games will be laborious for Barcelona, I think. Again, all this does is maybe give a sniff to Real Betis with all these 3 teams fumbling and stumbling their way. So let's see what happens. Again, I still don't think Betis can, be in the top 4, but yeah, we'll have to wait for the next week results. Now,
I mean, yeah, in a way, you never know. Like, winning a trophy does different things to different people. So maybe because of the trophy that they won, they'll be full of confidence. So you never know. Having said that, yes, the fact that Real Madrid actually did not really have to play uh, at all. So let's see if that actually plays a part in their match against Manchester City when we do the preview later about this match. Yes, I think it is just like 3 losses in a row at home for Barcelona. I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, Rayo Vallecano actually did a double over Barcelona. Earlier in the season, they lost against Vallecano away when Koeman was the manager, and now under even Javi, they've lost 1-0 at home to Alvaro Garcia's goal. Again, like you said, I mean, what a goal, man. It actually didn't look like a goal scored by Rayo Vallecano. It actually looked like a goal scored by Barcelona. Like they were the passing, the movement, and everything, and the finish. It actually looked like so much like a Barcelona goal. But yeah, like there were so many chances that they created. But again, I think there's still like work to be done, and we've talked about this earlier as well when we talked about their loss to Cadiz. But yes, I think there's still scope for improvement for Barcelona. They do need to sign some uh, experienced players who have been there. And I'm not thinking that they don't really have those players right now. They do have those experienced players, but then those experienced players are now towards the end of their careers. I'm talking about some players who are experienced, but at the same time have a lot to give as well and can play on a week in week out basis. Something that you don't really expect, from the likes of Gerard Piqué or Busquets or Jordi Alba at this point in time. I mean, again, so these are the players that need to be replaced. Actually, I'm talking about the players who are like 17, 18 years old, someone like Gavi or Nico, Pedri. These players, you can't. I still feel like these players do need someone around them to guide them, I guess. Um, Otherwise, they will have these results. But especially, we've got to talk about Real Madrid as well now. The fact that it does look like they could sign Mbappe, which is obviously the worst kept secret. But now, on top of that, I mean, they're also going to sign someone like Antonio Rudiger on a free. So that guy is just a beast, man. Seriously, like he will just make Real Madrid's backline so much better. I don't think that under someone like Rudiger, they can lose 4-0 at home or 5-0 at home to Barcelona, because he's the kind of a player that you want in your dressing room who will not let something like that happen. So yes, and the fact that the other guy, Christensen, is going to Barcelona, whereas with him it's going to be the opposite. On important match day, he's just going to have stomach cramps and miss matches. So yeah, uh, they do. I mean, again, I do feel like at this point in time, it's going to be again. Uh, and again, like we talked about earlier, the comment that Danny Alves made, that it took us so much time to find our form. Again, and ever since he said that, just look at how Barcelona have been playing. I mean, they've lost 3 in a row. So, I mean, if this is what you call finding your form, then I don't think Real Madrid have anything to worry about you finding form. Yeah.
No, if this is what they call finding the form, they should find it, keep it, and lock it in a
Exactly.
safe.
Exactly.
Yes, this is the sort of shock of the weekend. Again, one of the not so well kept secrets. We knew that Rudiger was on his way out, and given the current sanctions, we could not really so negotiate a deal with him. But yeah, a big thank you to him, and I'm happy for him. Given all the options and all the clubs that he was being linked with, I think Real Madrid is the best deal out there for him, because that team will give him that opportunity to win silverwares right from the get-go. Um, yeah. As far as Barcelona is concerned, yeah, just one thing. I mean, some of the players are on the wrong side of 30s, and some of the players are, if you can say, the 17, 18, not more than 22. So they lack, 24, 25, 26-year-old players, who have youth and experience both in the right fixture. So yeah, definitely. I'm sure that Barcelona will give Xavi a lot of good players. I think they have already signed a couple of good players, Kessie included. So yeah, they'll definitely improve. But before they can do that, I hope they lose as many matches as possible. And yeah, just one thing I was thinking right now, Madrid can actually win the championship without getting another point this season. So yeah, I think the great start was so instrumental in them winning the cup when both Atletico and Barcelona were floundering. They kept, garnering those points, and even they have not been in the best of forms domestically since New Year. But yeah, all their good work. I've always seen and observed that clubs that win these titles, the start is so crucial. Of course, you have to maintain it, or you have to go on a crazy run like once we did against under Conte, or like City did a couple of years ago, or maybe last year under obviously Pep. So, but then the surest way of making sure that you win the whole thing is having a great start. And yeah, okay. Talked too much about Barcelona, I guess. Let's move on to Serie A. Okay, the first upset, shock. Salernitana, 3 wins in a row. This time they dispose of Fiorentina at home 2-1. Now they're 18th in the table on 25 points, same as Genoa. with Cagliari on 28 and Sampdoria on 30. Um, and Salernitana have a game in hand. Okay, this made it interesting, but for that we still need a couple of results going their way. But again, it seems like they've just woken up and realized that they were in a relegation battle and now they just want to do something about it. A great performance at home, Rahul.
Oh yeah, I mean they were on 2 game winning run before this match, and all of a sudden it's three. Oh my god! Like seriously, they realized that yes, there is a chance they could be the Burnley of Serie A. Um, the only difference is that they didn't sack the manager. It's actually the manager who is now guiding them out of the relegation zone. Uh, yes, I mean when you take into consideration the fact that the other team that they could actually overhaul, Cagliari lost against another fellow team in the relegation zone, Genoa. So yes, a great result overall for uh, Salernitana. Yeah, man, 2 goals, great goals. Even they opened the scoring through, I think, Juric, who actually scored against AC Milan as well in their 2-all draw. So yes, he's already got experience of scoring in big matches. And then again, some of the substitutions made by both the coaches, it worked actually. Even Saponara, who came on for Fiorentina, the change made by Italiano, he scored the equalizer. But then again, even Davide Nicola, he didn't. He was like, "Yeah, man, we still got to go for it." And yes, Bonazzoli actually he came on and scored the winner. So yeah, great result for Salernitana. I mean, you can't just give this to any other thing except for one. That is heart, pure dedication, pure commitment, and the will to do the impossible. That's what they are doing. And if they somehow manage to survive, then again, a great escape, I guess, overall. I mean, you've got to understand that Salernitana are actually a very decent club in terms of the personnel that they have. They've actually got someone like Frank Ribery playing for them. They've even got Walter Sabatini, I think, as their director of football. So they've got some big names. So yes, if they do manage to stay, they've even got the money as well. They can actually do bigger things.
And sometimes I think when you are under so much pressure, it sort of clears your head and you know what you have to do. Good for them. Good for them. Yeah, talking about shots. So let's talk about Empoli against Napoli. Napoli were winning this match 2-0 up to the 80th minute. Mertens and Insigne scoring the goals on the each side of the halftime, and something happened. Was it Napoli that snapped, or Empoli found, another rare? Now Empoli scored three goals in 7 minutes. Henderson and Pinamonti. Pinamonti scoring a couple actually, and from the 80th to the 87th minute, it was Empoli that led 3-2, and that is how the match ended. So Napoli crash and burn once again. I think we can safely say that they are out of the championship now. Don't really see a way back for them. But how did this all happen, Rob?
So honestly, I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. I'm surprised with the way it happened. That yes, they conceded 3 goals in 7 minutes, but I'm not surprised because this is usually what happens. With the team managed by Luciano Spalletti, they choke and they crumble towards the latter half of the season. It's not a new story, but but the way it happened is. So yes, I guess on top of that, we've got to talk about. I think I'm pretty sure that before the match, all the Inter Milan players texted Andrea Pinamonti, and they were like, you got to score, you got to win this match because Andrea Pinamonti is actually on loan from Inter Milan at Empoli. So yes, he did his parent club a huge favor, and maybe even increase his own chances of appearing for his parent club from next season. So yes, I mean again, man, seriously, it like clearly it didn't look like there was going to be any other result. I mean, when it's 2-0 and you have 10, 11 minutes left on the clock, but the fact that I mean, a team like Napoli is conceding 3 goals when again, man, you can't just write this stuff. It's as simple as that. It's what we love about this beautiful game. So yeah, a great result for Empoli, and if Napoli were not out of the title race, they are now. So yeah, kudos.
Yeah, talking about. Um, I won't call this a shot, but definitely. late result in favor of AC Milan in the match against Lazio. So Ciro Immobile started scoring for Lazio in the 4th minute. Giroud responded in the 50th for Milan, and they actually left it far too late for my liking. Yeah, I mean, Tonali scoring the winner in the 92nd minute, the 2nd minute of extra time. And wow, what great scenes after that, goal. And again, we fight for another week. Rahul?
Yeah, a game of two halves, right? In the first half, it was all Lazio, Immobile opened scoring. And then, to be honest, I mean, we both predicted that AC Milan would win this match. So, yes, it did look like that. What are Lazio actually playing for? Like, that's the question. Like, do they really have that determination that we keep talking about? I mean, we've always mentioned that other teams have come, to Olympico, and they've actually managed to beat Lazio. Uh, and again, AC Milan just wanted it more. It's as simple as that, and that is the reason why they kept giving their all. I mean, Olivier Giroud, man, how good is he? Like seriously, we keep talking about the fact that AC Milan need a striker, and that's still true. They do need a younger, a more mobile striker. But yes, uh, again, sometimes it's not just about how good you are. A lot of it is all about mentality. And Giroud, yes, the fact that he was at a small club like Arsenal, but then yes, he did make the right decision and join a bigger club, obviously, and won the Champions League and everything. So it just shows. But again, a thorough model professional, right? Never, even if he was on the bench, never really complained. So it just shows the kind of mentality that someone like he has. He has always been so good in big matches, even scored a double against Inter Milan. So yes, I mean, Rafael Leao again, he's just what, 21, 22, another assist. Even someone like Abramovich came on uh, and, tried to score a goal, but then it was none other than Sandro Tonali. I mean, another young midfielder, uh, similarly in the mold or in the ilk of someone like Andrea Pirlo. I mean, he joined last season from Brescia, but then it did take him, a while to settle in. But yes, this season especially, he has become such a regular in Milan's midfield. I mean, especially when you take into consideration that a lot of the other players either haven't really worked out or have been injured or maybe have just lost their place because of form or because they had to go to African Cup of Nations, like someone like Ismail Benacer, and has been struggled. But this season, especially, if there is a mainstay in Milan's midfield, it's actually someone like Sandro Tonali. So yeah, man, and again, I think if I'm not wrong, he had options, so many opportunities to join so many bigger clubs, but he chose Milan because if I'm not wrong, he's also a Milan fan. He grew up watching AC Milan, and he's a Milan fan as well. So yes, I don't think that for someone who breathes Milan, there's going to be a better opportunity or a bigger opportunity uh, to get his own club out of jail, and if in doing so they can win the Scudetto. So I mean, he doesn't really score a lot, right? But what a way to score this goal, right? I don't think there will be a much better time than this. So yeah, a great result for AC Milan. Let's see if they can continue this. I have my doubts, but yeah, let's see.
Yeah. I love the fact how you brought in Arsenal and your personal vendetta against them in all that analysis. So yes. Yes. I think the assist was made by Ibra. So yeah, great work by Milan. Again, don't leave it too late.
Um,
Yes.
Actually, yes, sorry. Just sorry to cut you off, but there's another factor I think that actually played a part in this match. Uh,
Yeah.
so before the match, a lot of the Lazio players actually, I think up to 8 Lazio players, the first team players, they were actually impacted by flu. They didn't really have any COVID, but a lot of those players didn't really train a lot or didn't really. So yeah, a lot of those players were in doubt. So maybe that also played a part because the longer the game went on, uh, it made difficult for those players. Maybe they got tired. So yes, I mean, either way, maybe it was a good. It was in the stars. It was a good time to play against Lazio, but I do think that that also played a factor. Yeah.
Basically, there can be so many other reasons as well. Let's not go there. So yeah, good victory for AC Milan. As I said, we fight for another week. Let's see how it all unfolds. Inter will be playing their game in hand over the week. So yeah, things will be more clear after that match. With that, I think we come to the end of our podcast. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. We'll be back with a preview of all the weekday matches in the next episode. Take care and bye bye.
All right, guys.